Chapter 10, Tools and Setting. As we learned early in the most ancient times, the original Zoroastrians worshipped in the open air, usually on high ground such as hilltops or mountaintops, or even in caves and grottos, etc. They also did so at sea, shores, and other places of natural beauty. No images were ever made of Ahura Mazda. Again, these descriptions sound very similar to the ones of the early Germanic peoples. By the time the religion became established among Persian kings and emperors, however, more elaborate temples and complexes were being built in which to perform the rituals. But forever and always, the simple forms of worship were still practiced and have high prestige. Regardless of the overall setting, however, certain tools and implements are necessary to the proper performance of a typical Mazdan ritual. The space in which the ritual takes place must be as free as possible of any non-sacred objects or furniture. Traditionally, lines are demarcated on the floor in the following pattern shown in the diagram below. The lines are formulated to divert any negative, destructive, or detrimental influences from entering the space within the lines. Here follows a list of ritual objects or tools useful for most basic rites in Mazdan tradition. Fire vase off Frenegon. The most famous ceremonial object of Mazdan ritual is the fire vase, or urn. It can be of various sizes or designs. Most usually the vase is made of silver-colored metal, and a metal dish or plate of the right size is placed on top, and the ceremonial fire is built on top of this. Ashes from the fire have a special magical property and cannot be disposed of in a disrespectful manner. The fire used to light the fuel on the Afrenagun comes from the oil lamp. Oil lamp Devo. The oil lamp is a container filled with lamp oil and fitted with a floating wick. A substitute for this can be a small candle or tea light. It should be able to burn throughout the ritual and be the representative of the eternal flame. No fire should be actively extinguished. Fire should always be allowed to burn itself out on its own. Fuel and incense, Esma Bioi. The ritual fire, Atar, is fed with both wood and fuel and incense during rituals. The usual fuel is made up of well-dried sticks of wood. This can be juniper or mountain cedar, or especially in the Indian tradition, it is usually sandalwood. It is important that this wood be very dry. Burning moist wood is thought to be a moral detriment. The incense used in the most usually frankincense, lobon, and or myrrh bod. Metal ladle chamach. The ladle is a long-handled tool with a somewhat flat scoop for placing incense on the fire. This process is done at certain prescribed times in some rituals, but can be done at any point in order to keep the sacralizing effect of the incense present in the atmosphere of the ritual. Metal tongs, chipyo. Metal tongs are used to place supplemental wood on the fire. The fire is normally built with extremely dry wood, usually juniper or sandalwood. The fire may need to be fed with more wood to keep it burning healthily throughout the ritual. If and when this is the case, it is to be fed with wood of this kind using metal tongs. Head cover, topi. The typical head covering for Zoroastrian is a billless cap, which covers the whole top of the head, not a skull cap as used by the Jews. Many designs are possible. The only prerequisite is that the material be white. White table cover, sulfra. The altar table is to be covered by a white cloth. This cloth should only be used for this purpose and must be clean each time it is used. Altar table kavan. The altar table itself should be a four-legged table. It can be of any height and surface dimensions desired and needed. Some are quite small, others can be very large. It depends on the number of people involved and the level of elaboration desired. Bowls, dishes, and trays. Various offerings or displays of things such as bread, water, fruits, nuts, milk, honey, etc. are to be contained in ceremonial dishes, bowls, and trays. These are most usually made out of metal, brass, German, silver, or stainless steel, or they are earthenware. It is important for symbolic reasons to keep these objects pure and apart from daily use in any other context. The circular bowl containing pure water is called the kundi. Picture of the prophet Zarathustra. There is a variety of idealized and obviously symbolic portraits of the prophet Zarathustra. He is seen as the ideal man, the representative of what all humans can and will be in the end. His image, therefore, is representative not only of his message to mankind, but also of the future state toward which we aspire.